All right. Here we are. I'm not sure if it's working now or not. Peter will let me know. But it looks like it's working right now. Looks like everything is all right. And if it isn't, I'm gonna throw the computer out the window. So if anybody's watching now, I don't know. I'm so sorry about these delays. 40 fucking minutes. I don't know why. And the thing is, I don't know what the problem was either. So probably maybe it was YouTube. The problem was. I had enough time to drink another beer. I'm gonna just start over. And pretend like this shit never happened. I hope you're good with that. So anyway, thank you for watching. Finally, last week we did a really trip down memory lane. We went all the way back to Glory to the Brave and whatever happened before that. Now it says again dropped frames, but let me know if it works or not. Fucking hell. So annoying. I just have to calm down. Serenity now! Alright, there we go. That was in honor or a tribute to Jerry Stiller, in case you haven't, you know Seinfeld. Alright, let's go. So, in order to go back to, in order to deal with this album that, oh no, sorry, I haven't even mentioned what album we're doing. Sorry about that. So yeah, last week we did Glory to the Brave. This week we had the choice between Chapter 5, Unbent, Unbowed, Unbroken, and Threshold. And it was quite close, but not really a contest. Chapter 5, Unbent, Unbowed, Unbroken won. And so that's the album we're going to do today. And now know that none of the hotkeys are working. Why the fuck aren't they working? Okay, so this is really becoming frustrating as hell. Oh, okay. I see. Hang on, I see what the problem is here. Accident. It was not just like I flipped it over or something. I went from like 70 kilometers an hour to just like this, bam, stand still into a car that was standing still. And that should have ended a lot worse for me. I mean, I got out of there with just a broken arm. But since I had broken my right arm 10 years previous, I was very worried because that one, and I talked about this before, I ended up not losing some movement in the arm, and that's of course devastating when you're a guitar player. So I had to rearrange my playing a little bit, and I still have a little bit of problems with the some of the chugs and stuff. So I was really worried. I mean, when I broke my right arm, I wasn't a professional musician. Now 10 years later, I was. Actually, my livelihood, my whole life basically was HammerFall. So I was very, very worried that I wouldn't be able to. Hello? Oh, here we go. Sorry. No, I'm paranoid. I see everything. If I can't see shit, I think things are not working. So yeah, I was very worried that I was going to get some problems afterwards. So I took a lot of time to recuperate. I took it really slow and made every effort to do what they wanted me to do, basically, and to just take it easy, basically. I have a bunch of metal in my arm here in this. You can't see it, but you can feel it if you do this. You absolutely can feel it, and there's something poking out here. So I think, I don't know exactly how many. I got like 6 or 7 screws, maybe 8 screws in there. I got a plate. I have some pins and also some wire in there too. So it's a mess in here now. So when that happened, it took me like 6 months to get back to where I was mentally, really. And I remember that it was like December 28th. We had this was sort of the test for me. Like Anders, Joachim, and I went down to, because Rockfabrik Ludwigsburg had their some sort of anniversary. I don't know how much it was, but some sort of anniversary, and we went down there to play a little bit. We played together with Tom Neumann from Primal Fear and a friend of his called Mitch. I'm not sure who that was, but it doesn't matter. At least not for the story. Um, the other video is still live. What does that mean? Oh, I gotta check it. Anyway, so we went down there. This was actually the same time. Yes, this was the same night that we played some HammerFall songs, but the same night Kai actually reunited with some members of Halloween for the first time ever. I mean, not ever, but since they split up, it was a big night, you know. So and that was sort of the test for me. I went through it and I managed to. It went well, you know, as well as could be expected. Yeah. So sure. So there we go. Fuck that up. Now we're talking January of 2005. Yeah, this was January 2004, and that's when I started writing songs, like for real, for this album. The first song I wrote was "Take the Black." I remember that. It was like a test. I mean, I hadn't been gone for that long, but mentally, it was a long time for me mentally not to be doing what I love to do and what I was supposed to do, basically. So it took me a while to get back into, get back to where I was. I'm not 100%. I wasn't 100% happy with that song. I remember that afterwards. I thought it was, and part of that could have been actually when I recorded it, because I had some problem. I had problems doing, quick things like that. With my arm, it really hurt. It hurt for years actually afterwards. Just not terribly, but a little bit. But that was the first song I wrote, and once you started the ball rolling, basically, it went for me pretty quickly. I mean, everything I had I just pushed over to Joachim so he could do his stuff on top of that as usual. Once I felt the momentum starting to flow for me, I quickly did a lot of songs. I don't remember. Actually, we did record in September, so yeah, it was quite a. I'm pretty sure it took a couple of months before I got into it again. I don't remember that very much, but so anyway, we had a recording scheduled for 4th or something of September in Lundgård Studios, which was a Danish studio, which in a Danish countryside actually, where it was basically a farm actually, like a farmhouse where they had remodeled into a studio or a bunch of studios. So if you can look at the picture to the left there of the car is the sleeping area. Because we lived in the studio, we stayed there full time for. We could go home in the every other weekend, I think, as we normally do. But we spent a long time there, probably at least I would say 8 to 10 weeks. I'm not sure exactly how long, but it was a long time. Like the left sleeping area, in the middle you have the dining area, and to the right there was a bunch of different studios. So we were in the big one, but there were also 1 or 2 small ones on the side. And as usual, we started with drums, and for Anders, this was, if I remember correctly, this was his old Pearl kit that he had in the. So I prefer to play. Well, we also did have a huge football field with a couple of goals outside, and during downtime, we had football. Joachim and I went out a couple of times, and Stefan was there too. We played a lot, and I played by myself too when I was alone towards the end of the like for the mix and stuff. Or was the mix done? No, the mix wasn't done there. So, but anyway, we have energy to burn. Nothing's going on in the studio. You're basically home right now, so. I went out in the field, and we all went out in the field and just played football. Did a bunch of headers and goal. We tried to recreate, as far as I remember, the Scorpion, because this was in 2004, like I said, and René Higuita, I don't know, from Colombia, the goalkeeper. Check that. Look it up. It's Higuita, I think. Goalkeeper from Colombia. just the Scorpion Football. I guess you will just get it on YouTube. I'm sure it's going to be there if YouTube works now. It was we tried to recreate that, Joachim and I. We spent so much time trying to get the ball in the right position, and then when the ball was in the right position, to get the Scorpion in the air. It was a really fun time. Had a lot of fun things to do that. So anyway, that's what we were doing just to keep our sanity. And then after the recordings were done, we had, of course, like we always do, a listening party for the press. And I think, yes, this was Nuclear Blast probably shuttled in about 30 or 40 people to this place, Lundgård. This is just a small part of the room. They were sitting there listening to the album. And afterwards, of course, we have a dinner party, drinking beer and hanging out. And throughout this time, we do interviews. That's how it works normally. And this is a band picture. There we go. So this is how nice we looked for this listening party. Everybody was ready. Everybody was really psyched, actually, because this was a big release for us. We felt that we were onto something here. So that's the listening party. That's the session, and that's that. I'm a bit off now today because I was so aggravated with the technical difficulties that we had at the beginning. Turns out, which I didn't know, it was apparently YouTube that had the problems and not not me on the computer. But I don't know. Facebook seemed to be working. So cheers, guys. Now let's get down to business. So as you know, you guys who have followed this, I have kept literally every guitar I've ever owned except the very, very first one. Back in the 80s, I sold that one and bought the one I used last week. And this is no different. I kept everything. They are in pretty bad shape, I gotta admit. Many of these I haven't touched in years, in like probably 10, 20, whatever years, however long since I put it in the case in the first place. I'm gonna show you something here. This guitar, I don't think it was used in the recordings. It was just used for the Crimson Thunder tour. But this is a Washburn King V, I believe they call it. It's actually purple. I don't know if you can see it in the light, but it's purple. I got two of these. But I haven't brought this out, I don't think, since 2003 or 4 then for the recordings. We did ended up not using it. But you can't see it probably, but these strings are all rusty. Rusty as hell from sweat and stuff. And it doesn't sound terrific. So I decided not to use this one, to not play on it today. But I wanted to show it to you because we were sponsored by, or endorsed by Washburn for about 2 years or so. And then for this album, in time for this album, we managed to get a endorsement by, like, basically the dream endorsement for me, and I was talking about this a couple of weeks ago too, because we had Jackson for a while, and the guitar you saw in the picture of me before was this one. I'm gonna play it. It's the strings are so low that when you press on the third on the G basically, it doesn't sound. You hear it? It sounds weird. Everything else is good, but this one is fucked. So, but I'm gonna play it anyway. I'm gonna adjust, I think, a little bit. Just have to take out the cable. No idea, actually. There's something wrong, apparently, here with my shit that I have here. The setup has worked for 4.5 episodes. I don't know. I don't dare touch the guitar now. But let me tell you this before I start with the guitar. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, I'll probably go berserk here. But I'm not going to show you that. But I won't return this time. This is the last chance. I don't even know if you can hear me now because yeah, you can. Great. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna give it a shot, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, thank you for bearing with me in this technical bullshit jungle that we're going through right now. So here we go. Last chance. Yeah, like I said, the guitars aren't in the best shape. That's for sure. Alright, seems to be working for the moment. At the moment. So I'm gonna just get right down to it. This one needs some love too. Shut up. So, alright, let's start out with, now I'm all fucked up in the head now. Okay. Whew. Here we go with, yeah, I'm gonna make it easy for me. This is a song we have played on every show that we have ever done since we wrote it. The thing with this song actually is, this is a song that I wrote 1 week before we went into the studio. I finished Bloodbound, sent it to Joachim. When we were recording the drums, I think it was the first day or the second day, maybe we were out somewhere, and he gave me a call. Oh, sorry, Peter, I'm gonna hang up now. Thanks. So yeah, Peter was helping me mentally, or with whatever he could do through the phone. But so yeah, we were in Denmark, as I said, recording. We were in an electronics store, I believe, Anders and I. Joachim called me, and he said, "This is what I've done so far on the new song that you just sent me last week." And I'm not kidding, I swear, I got goosebumps when I heard it. He played it through the phone only, but I got goosebumps. I thought, fuck yes, this is the single. There's no doubt in my mind or anybody's mind when they heard it that this was going to be the single. It turned out to be a legendary or a classic HammerFall track. So here it is. Thank you. That's good. So yeah, once we got that out of the way, now hopefully, fingers crossed, or as we say in Sweden, we hold our thumbs. I don't know why that is, but that's how we always have done it. So I think I want to do another one. I'm going to change the thing up here, but while I have it in my head right now, this one, Take the Black. As I said, the first song that I wrote for this album, it was a bit of a test for me, a little bit, yeah, I haven't listened to it more or less, yeah, like I don't know how many times since the album, but of course Bloodbound we play all the time. Some other songs we have played many times too live, but this one I don't think we've ever given the time after this one. So let's see. Etc. Orvar, where are you when I need you? So yeah, that's that one. Actually, it went pretty well. I you know, it's not like I just pick up the guitar and try to play them. I played through them before, but there's a huge difference between playing along with a song that you haven't heard for a long while and playing it without any backup. And yeah, that's basically what it is. Yes, thank you, Metal Crusader. So yeah, here we go. I'm taking it that the YouTube stream is actually working now, or not, or what? Or maybe you're watching because I think I only, I see the YouTube comments right now. I don't see the Facebook comments. I don't know how to do that. I'll look into that next time. But what really is annoying with this whole technical bullshit is that now it's working. For no good reason. I mean, I didn't change anything. I just restarted the computer 10 or 15 times. But I'm going to keep going while it actually works. So let's do this. Probably is one of my favorite songs on this album. I don't have much to say about it, so I'm just going to get right into it. It's really fun to play. Hammer of Justice. I love that song. It was a lot of fun to record too. Also another song that I really like, that we have played a bunch of times online. It's online a bunch of times live. Is a song that I can't wait until we get it back into the set because I fucking love to play it. The Fury has electrified my fucking mind. Yeah. Fun song to play, like I said. Let's see which one was this too. Yeah. Very cool song. I'm hoping we can get it back into the set one of these days. Interesting fact is that this song is being played. We're big. We love sports, in particular ice hockey, and so when some guys from Minnesota Wild, the NHL team, contacted us and said, or maybe it was some fan, I don't know, somebody contacted us and said, do you know that they're playing Fury of the Wild in between? At first I think it was in between, like just to pump up the audience, you know, because Minnesota Wild, Fury of the Wild, I think that was a connection. Maybe it was a Swedish one too, because Minnesota's got a bunch of Swedish people too. But whatever the reason was, we were ecstatic, really cool for us. And then Joachim got in touch with the people who did this, and we found out that they're actually playing, or for a while they played Fury of the Wild when Minnesota Wild entered the ice, which was like the biggest honor you could imagine for us. Super cool for us. And well, let's see, was this 2 years ago maybe? Yeah, it must have been 2018. We were on tour, and we were in Minnesota, of course. And Joachim had talked to the people. I mean, this was in June or something like that, in the middle of the summer, so the season was all over. There was nobody actually there except for the people who worked behind the scenes. But we got a tour of is it the Energy XL Center, I think, where the Wild play. And that was so cool. I mean, like I said, we're big sports fans, and in particular ice hockey. So it was a huge deal for us to be able to go behind the scenes, visit the dressing rooms, you know, the warm up areas, and also the booths upstairs where they actually control all the stuff on the big screens, and the organ, you know, that thing. It was just a big cool thing for us to do. So I remember that really. I actually got goosebumps now just thinking about it. So I can't wait for the NHL season to kick off again. Hopefully it will kick off this year. Who knows, you know? But yeah. So that's a little bit about that one. Now we're gonna go to the last song on the album, which is a long one, the longest song by far that we have ever done with HammerFall. There's a lot of things to say about this song. I mean, the intro. The. etc. That's that's played on bass, but I wrote it on guitar, of course. But I thought it was a really cool intro for to do on bass, and it turned out really well. Of course, Joachim's voice is always tremendous, but as you might know, or you probably do know, he's not alone. It's a duet, basically, with a legend from the 80s. And, you know, like I said, we grew up in the 80s, as you know. We are huge Venom fans from way back then, way back when, I mean. And Charlie, this came about like this. Charlie had a question, like, what do you think about guest artists on this album? Do we have any ideas? And we had no ideas, of course. And I actually think I had a Venom shirt on one day. I think that's how it came about. They said, I know these guys. I recorded albums with them before. I know Kronos, you know, really well. Well, not really well, but as a producer knows his band. That's how well he knew them. And so we, and Joachim, of course, as always, once he gets an idea in his head, he's really for it. So he found a bunch of places for Kronos to do his. Oh, first, of course, we asked him if he wanted to do something. Of course, first, I think we asked him to play bass on this part that I just played for you, and he said no, we didn't want to do that, but he would be happy to provide some vocals for us. And so Joachim immediately went to work on picking out parts where he could do his stuff. And for us being Venom fans, this was the highest honor. I mean, I can't describe it big enough for how big it was for us. And I remember also we wanted to have, like, the thing with Kronos is, if you're a fan of Venom from the 80s, or from the 80s, the stuff that he was doing in the 80s was just, I don't know how many times I watched the live at Hammersmith video, for example. I think we watched that a couple of times during the recordings, actually, for this album. Maybe that's how he came about. I don't know. I don't remember it, like I said. But like just Kronos with him, like what he does at the end of Black Metal, for example, when he just Black Metal, that thing that he does. It's really difficult to impersonate him, but we just thought that was the coolest ever. We wanted him to do some like, can we do that just one time, and we can put it in somewhere where we think it fits. What he sent us back was, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes of him just going, oh, hell, fucking yeah, and all that stuff that we ended up putting in the intro. We thought it was just so unbelievably cool. Like, I'm getting goosebumps again. But that was a tremendous part of the recording that I'm so proud to have Kronos on a HammerFall album. That means the world to me. Yeah, the song in itself, I played a little bit before, but I'm gonna do some of the guitar riffs too, because I think it's pretty cool. I like this song, and when I sat down today and listened to it again, I forgot how to play it. I played it in a different way before, but now I know how to play it. So here we go. Okay, there we go. That was a mistake, because this is how I played it before, the first one. So this is how it's supposed to be. that one. Put it away. There we go. So that was Nice to the 21st Century. It's a ringtone. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, that, like I said, it's a special song, very different one. It's not the normal HammerFall song, but I thought it turned out really great because the dynamic of Joachim and Kronos is just brilliant. I thought. So I'm gonna do one last thing for you guys. Bear with me for this one. I practiced a lot, or a little bit. I practiced. Let's leave it at that. But it's difficult for me to play this one. So we're gonna see how that goes. But this is a song that I mean I wrote it. I played. Oh yes, I forgot one picture before when all this shit went down. These are the amps that we used for the recording. So you can see there's Stefan's was it JCM 800 I think on the left. Yes, and this trustworthy old baby here on the right. So it's actually the same amp, like I said. Not the same cabinets, because I got this cabinet for No Sacrifice, No Victory, but it's just, in essence the same. But yeah, but I have one more picture to show you guys. Ba-dam! Blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I did play this one myself in the studio. We did a bunch of add-ons and stuff, so it's not. It's gonna sound a little bit different, but I'm gonna give it a shot here. You know, what are we doing except for not putting ourselves out there? That's basically what it is. I'm doing this just for you guys. All right, so let's see where we end up. Yeah, it wasn't perfect, but then again, what is? All right, fucking hell. So this has been a long night for me as well as for you guys. But let's see what time is it. Oh my god, I've been in here trying to get this shit to work for an hour and 45 minutes, and thank you for staying with me that long. I'm just gonna do some plugs before we go, because I realized we have a really cool sweatshirt. I mean hoodie actually. It's called the second to one. It's one hammer to rule them all. It's available in our web shop, and this is, I think, unisex, or at least available in both men and women's. And if you're not a man or a woman, or if you're a baby and want to order some stuff, you can order this bunch of stuff. We have got a bunch of kids stuff too. So please go and visit our web shop at hammerfall.net/merchandise, because we got a bunch of stuff, and all these things, as you might know now that we don't have the touring to rely on, that all these things are vital for any band. Like merchandise sales right now are more important than anywhere and than any time before this, because that's basically our own income, our only income right now. So if you want to support us, feel free to check it out. I'm sure you'll find something you like. If you already have bought some stuff, thank you very much for that. We really appreciate it. I think that's it. Yes, just follow us on social media if you want to. HammerFall.net, Facebook.com/HammerFall, etc. A bunch of stuff happening over there. As usual, not so much now that we're not touring, but follow us. You won't regret it, I guarantee you. Yes. So yeah, normally I thought we were going to take some questions before when I started this whole thing, but it's really difficult to play and talk and have all that in control and then try to find out questions as well. So I'm sorry about the interactivity not being what you would like it to be. But I think we're going to go back to, once I've done all these things, we're going to go back to a more interactive show. Or at least maybe before that, we're going to do some interactive stuff for you guys. So. But thank you so much for bearing with us this time. Yeah, it was hard. This today was really hard, I have to say. But we made it. We're at the end. We did it. Thank you for watching. Be safe, stay healthy, and stay indoors for now. Yeah, for a little bit while longer. And thanks for watching. Take care. Stay metal.